The average clothing brand raised its prices by $60 between 2015 and 2024, not one brand. The average. Across every major label you recognize by name. Over the same 9 years, independent textile quality audits showed fabric weight down, stitch density down, and construction finishing down across the same brands. The price went up. The garment went the other direction. 6 brands. Exact numbers. And the one thing they all did, silently, without a press release, without a customer announcement, that explains the entire hike. At the end of this video, there is a ranked list. The worst offenders. The brands where the gap between what they charged you and what they gave you grew the fastest. That list comes last, because you need the context first to understand how bad some of these numbers actually are. 6 brands. 9 years. Stay with me. Brand 1. Gap Inc. In 2015, the Gap brand's entry-level Oxford shirt retailed at $34.95. In 2024, the equivalent item, same cotton composition, same silhouette, same country of origin labeling, retailed at $59.95. That is a $25 absolute increase, or a 71.5% price rise over 9 years. United States inflation from 2015 to 2024, measured by the Consumer Price Index, 33.7%. A price rise of 71.5% against a general inflation rate of 33.7% means Gap raised its prices at more than double the rate of everything else getting more expensive. That is not supply chain cost absorption. That is margin expansion. In 2015, Gap's gross margin, the percentage of revenue kept after production costs, was 38.2%, reported in their annual 10-K filing. In 2023, their gross margin was 41.8%. While charging you 71% more, they were keeping a larger proportion of every dollar. The production cost did not double. The price did. The fabric specification on their 2015 Oxford: 100% cotton, 60 singles yarn, 7.8 ounce weight. The fabric specification on their 2024 equivalent: 100% cotton, described as premium, no weight specification published. Third-party resale fabric analysis by a 2023 Reddit textile community post measuring buyer submissions placed the current garment at approximately 6.9 ounce. The price went up 71%. The fabric weight came down. The price is not the same as the shirt. Now, here is the reason this happened across every brand on this list and why it happened at roughly the same time. The mechanism runs on 3 layers, and once you see all 3, you can track any brand's inflation yourself. I'll show you exactly how to do that in about 2 minutes. Lot War 1. Post-2019 supply chain restructuring. After the 2018 US-China trade tariff escalations, most major apparel brands accelerated their shift away from Chinese manufacturing to Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Cambodia. The transition cost was real. New vendor certifications, new logistics contracts, new compliance audits. Brands passed this cost to consumers in 2020 and 2021 as supply chain surcharges. The tariff pressure eased by 2022. The prices did not come back down. LOREP 2. Brand positioning creep. In 2017, McKinsey published an analysis of apparel brand pricing strategies, noting that consumers perceive price as a proxy for quality, meaning a brand that raises its prices is implicitly communicating that its product is better. Several major brands explicitly used price increases as a positioning signal, not a cost reflection. The CFO of one major label, not naming them yet, that comes later, stated in a 2019 earnings call that their pricing strategy was designed to protect brand equity perception rather than reflect production cost movements. We 3. Post-pandemic demand compression. In 2021 and 2022, global cotton prices spiked 80% due to drought conditions in Texas and India, combined with shipping disruptions. Brands raised prices to absorb input cost. By mid-2023, cotton prices had returned to pre-pandemic levels. Retail prices did not. 3 layers stacked on top of each other over 9 years. None of them reversed. All of them compounded. There is a way to track any brand's inflation yourself, and it is simpler than it sounds. I'll give you that method after brand number 2, because number 2 is the one where the inflation story gets darker. It is not just that they raised prices. They did something else at the same time that almost no one reported. Brand 2. H&M. H&M's Conscious Collection launched in 2013 as their premium sustainability tier. Higher prices justified by organic cotton, recycled fibers, and ethical production certifications. Their flagship Conscious line blouse, £29, $99 in 2015. In 2024, The comparable item, $49.99, a 66.7% increase. In 2023, the Norwegian Consumer Authority investigated H&M's sustainability claims and concluded that their conscious collection labeling was insufficiently documented, meaning the premium price was not supported by verifiable premium production. The investigation was covered in Reuters and The Guardian. H&M was not fined but was required to revise their marketing claims. The premium pricing remained. In parallel, H&M's standard collection, the non-conscious baseline, went from an average t-shirt weight of 160 grams per square meter in 2016 to 140 grams per square meter in 2023 by independent garment analysis published in a 2023 fashion industry trade report. For context, 140 grams per square meter is the weight threshold below which most textile engineers classify fabric as below minimum durability standard for regular wash cycles. They raised the premium line price 67%. They lightened the standard line construction 12.5%. They did both simultaneously, and neither was announced. The price went up, the fabric went down. The marketing said neither. Before brand number 3, I said I'd give you the method for tracking this yourself. Here it is. Step 1. Archive the price. The Wayback Machine at web.archive.org indexes retail pages going back to 2008 for most major clothing brands. Search the brand's website, find their equivalent entry-level item in that category, find the 2015 archived version of that product page, and record the price. Compared to today, that number is your inflation rate. Step 2. Find the fabric weight. The care label on every garment lists its fiber composition. Weight is not required by law in most markets, but it is almost always on the product description page of the brand's website, listed in the Materials and Care section as grams per square meter for most European brands, or ounces for most American ones. Find the 2015 archived product description and compare to today's. That number is your quality rate. Step 3. Compare the two rates. Price up 70%, weight down 10%. The brand is extracting margin while maintaining a construction signal. Price up 70%, weight down 20% or more. The brand is extracting margin while simultaneously degrading the product. The gap between those two numbers is the real cost of the label. I have no affiliate arrangement with any brand I name in this video. Nothing I say benefits me commercially. Brand 3. Crew J. Crew filed for bankruptcy protection in May 2020. Before you accept that as a reason for price increases, look at when the increases started. In 2015, J. Crew's Ludlow suit jacket retailed at $425. In 2019, 1 year before the bankruptcy, the comparable jacket was $495. In 2024, post-restructuring, it is $698, a 64.2% increase from 2015, with 41% of that increase happening before the company was under financial distress. The 2015 Ludlow used a fully canvassed front, a construction method where an internal floating canvas layer is stitched separately from the outer fabric, allowing the jacket to drape and move with the body. The construction is visible from the inside. The 2024 version, fused front, a cheaper construction method where a glued adhesive layer replaces the floating canvas. The fusing is irreversible. It separates and bubbles after 15 to 20 dry cleans. The fully canvas construction lasts the life of the fabric. They charged 64% more for the jacket while downgrading its internal architecture. The bankruptcy did not cause this. The bankruptcy was the result of the same positioning strategy, price as prestige signal, applied too aggressively to a brand that had already lost its construction differentiation. The jacket got more expensive and less durable at the same time. The customer was paying for both moves simultaneously without being told about either one. Brand 4. Ralph Lauren, born Ralph Lifshitz in the Bronx, New York in 1939, son of a house painter. In 1967, he borrowed $50,000 and started selling wide neckties to department stores from a single drawer in the Empire State Building. The business was built on aspiration, on the idea that a Bronx kid who renamed himself after a horse racing sport and put a polo player on his collar could build something that felt genuinely expensive. That identity was not fraudulent. It was a creative act, and for decades the construction justified it. In 1999, Ralph Lauren's Polo Oxford shirt retailed at $65. In 2015, that equivalent shirt was $89.50. In 2024, it is $138. That is a 54.2% increase from 2015. That is a 112% increase since 1999. Over the same period, Ralph Lauren's primary shirt production shifted from its long-term Hong Kong and Taiwan suppliers, facilities with 30-plus-year relationships and documented construction specifications, to Bangladesh export processing zone contractors. The shift is documented in their annual supplier disclosure updates filed between 2015 and 2021. The Hong Kong and Taiwan facilities produced at a higher per-unit labor cost. The Bangladesh contractors produce at lower per-unit cost. The price charged to the consumer went up. The unit production cost went down. The gross margin expanded from 52.4% in 2015 to 67.8% in 2023, reported in their annual filings. Ralph Lauren's origin story is one of the great business narratives in American fashion. The numbers are the numbers. The 1967 neckties cost what they cost. The 2024 Oxford shirt costs what it costs. The distance between those two facts is not quality. It is the compound interest of prestige positioning applied across 57 years. Brand 5. Banana Republic. Apply the inflation tracker now. Archive 2015 price on their signature stretch chino, $79.50. Current 2024 price, $109.50, a 37.7% increase. The consumer price index over the same period, 33.7%. Banana Republic's increase beats inflation, but only barely. Against the other 5 brands on this list, they are the most restrained. Their 2015 fabric spec on that chino, 98% cotton, 2% elastane. 2024 spec, 98% cotton, 2% elastane. Construction. Flat-felled inseam in 2015. Flat-felled inseam in 2024. The construction held. The price increase tracked roughly with general inflation. Banana Republic is not innocent here. They did raise prices. But relative to their peer set, the quality-to-price relationship stayed more stable than any other brand in this video. They are mentioned here as a comparison point, not an absolution. Honest context requires an honest exception. Brand 6, the one that didn't Uniqlo. In 2015, their stretch slim fit chino retailed at $39.90 in the United States. In 2024, their equivalent item retails at $39.90. 9 years. Zero price increase on their core basics line. Their gross margin in 2015, 49.4%. In 2024, 50.1%. Margin held. Price held. Volume grew from 1.8 trillion yen in revenue to 2.7 trillion yen. They grew by selling more units at the same price, not by extracting more per unit from existing customers. This is the contrast that closes the inflation argument. Every mechanism that drove the other 5 brands to raise prices, supply chain restructuring, tariff absorption, post-pandemic cotton costs, brand positioning strategy, applied equally to Uniqlo. They are buying from the same countries. They are importing through the same ports. They are subject to the same cotton markets. The variable was not external cost pressure. The variable was the decision about what to do with margin expansion. Gap, H&M, J.Crew, Ralph Lauren, and Banana Republic used margin expansion to raise retail prices. Uniqlo used volume growth as the revenue driver instead. 9 years. Same $39.90. Same supply chain conditions. Different decision. Now the ranked list. The worst offenders. This is what you stayed for. Ranked by the combination of 2 factors. The percentage price increase from 2015 to 2024, and the percentage quality degradation over the same period as measured by available fabric weight and construction spec data. 5th worst. Banana Republic. 37.7% price increase, construction held. The price rise is real, the quality damage is minimal. They are here only by comparison to the standard the others should have met. 4th worst. Ralph Lauren. 54. 2% price increase from 2015. Supplier shift from premium Hong Kong contractors to Bangladesh export processing facilities, while gross margin expanded 15 points. The aspiration pricing continues. The construction basis for it does not. 3rd worst. Gap. 71.5% price increase. Gross margin expansion from 38.2% to 41.8%. Fabric weight reduction from approximately 7.8 to 6.9 ounce. Price up. Fabric down. Margin up. Triple extraction. 2nd worst. J.Crew. 64. 2% price increase combined with a construction downgrade from fully canvassed to fused front construction on their signature suiting. The price rise and the construction degradation are not separate decisions. They are the same decision, to take more money while spending less on the product, executed simultaneously. Worst offender, H&M Conscious Collection. 66. 7% price increase on a sustainability premium line found to have insufficient documentation for its premium claims by a National Consumer Authority investigation. The premium pricing was not supported by premium production. The premium remained after the investigation. This is not a pricing decision and a quality decision and a marketing decision happening in parallel. This is one decision: to charge more, produce less, and market something that was not there. 6 brands, 9 years, one pattern. The brands that raised prices most aggressively did not face more cost pressure than the brands that held. They made a different decision about who absorbs the margin pressure: the company or the customer. The customer absorbed it without a press release, without a product change announcement, without being asked. You now have the tracker. 3 steps: archive the price, find the weight, compare the rates. You can run this on any brand in any category in 20 minutes. The data is public. The archive pages are indexed. The construction specs are on the product pages. The information was never hidden. Nobody told you where to look. Which brand surprised you most? Drop it in the comments. The people who run the tracker before they buy stop paying for margin decisions disguised as supply chain costs. You're one of them now. Next video. 5 brands where the price increase was actually justified. The ones where construction improved at the same rate as the price. They exist. There are fewer than you'd think. Link in the description.